thought that it was beneficial that I could actually show Tom what it is I do on a day-to-day basis. It's one thing to hear about it or see it on paper, but it's another thing to actually see it in person, actually being done in front of you.
That's true. It was very, very interesting to see what Danil does all day. But I think the program could be more than one benefit. For some people, you get to see what a colleague does on a day-to-day basis. Very often we go past the desk, we might say, hi, how are you? We walk past and we don't really see what's going on. So it's really a good way to find that out. But I think for other people, the benefit is going to be, hey, this might be a job I might want to do or a position I'm interested in. And you get to almost test drive it to see what it is. Hey, is this something I want to do? I do realize I never want your job.
Thanks.
There really are two that come to mind. One, I would like to shadow somebody in academics. I would really like to see our professors and how they prepare for their classes, how they interact with their students both in and out of the class. And being in Rego Park, I think I watched Elena, and I think that's another position, the dean, that I would like to shadow also.
I would actually like to shadow you in career services. And I would like to shadow Tom in career services, and I would also like to shadow registrar, someone in registrar. I think that's two other positions that I wanted to shadow.
Well, we'll be doing career services later in the year, and I'll make sure that you shadow me.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I think one of the biggest benefits of the job shadowing program is that beyond just the daily tasks and responsibilities that fall under the expectations of our fellow colleagues, we get to see the kind of character that's required to handle that position.
I agree with Chris, and I think it's a good opportunity for colleagues who have never met to meet and interact in a setting that they're comfortable in. I didn't change anything about my day. I just went about our day. We happen to have a busy day, so it was a good opportunity for Chris to see our student central interaction at the Midtown campus.
Yeah, I'd love the opportunity to shadow one of our colleagues in academics, faculty member.
I would like to shadow Whitney.
Well, the benefit that I found from job shadowing, and I want to thank you, Sanjoy, for giving me this opportunity to be able to sit within Student Central. The benefit I found was that it gave me an eye-opener of exactly what you do every day. I had the impression that you guys just pick up phones and you pick up with students, and then I see these students waiting for you, so you're actually dealing with appointments, walk-ins, being able to pick up phones and being available on the phone, which you are also monitored on. I was impressed with the patience that you had with the students, because just listening to you deal with one, I was like, well, just give them a straight answer and let them move on. But you went way beyond your job, and you went back to your manager to see how you could accommodate the student, then you went back to DEM, and then you were able to get a straight answer. And I think at the end, for that one particular student that I witnessed, I think you did a great job in accommodating her, and she actually did register for class. So I think it's a benefit for everybody to be able to job shadow others within the organization to get a better feel of exactly what they do.
I found it beneficial, as Tassim would say. She got a better insight of what we do. I think now she has a more appreciation of what we do, to see that we not just only answer phones and then see students. There are a lot of back work, so there are a lot of following up, making sure students get seen, making sure students are registered. If they face any academic notification that we may receive, that we do that. So there's a lot of things that Tassim was able to see. So I think she has a better appreciation of what we do.
Well, that's kind of a difficult question. Maybe in the near future I may be, but I think the benefit that I found is just to get a good understanding of what our process is, what the students are faced to, what the student SSAs, the assistants are. Now they're doing more than just one job. They're doing the consultant and the coaching piece of it. So now they are I think they're it gives me a good understanding of what they have to go through, what the students come in with, and what they're faced to. So to answer that question, would I be interested? I would if an opportunity opened up, but right now, you know, my background is more IT and I like to stick to that. But, you know, again, it's good, it's a good way it's a good place for me to understand what needs to go on. So I was, you know, I think this isn't the last place that I would want to do job shadowing. This is only 25% of what the DVNY is about.
I did my job normally. Tassim was able to see a portion of the work as it comes in. So she was able to actually see the hands-on experience of being in Student Central. Except what I did was after each activity, whether it's a phone call or a student, I explained to her what I did, what system I used, and what I would need to do prior to assist the student. So if it's something I couldn't do at the time, I will have to either put the student on hold or work, as Tassim said earlier, to my supervisor. So she got a hands-on experience in what we do on a day-to-day basis. Nothing was planned that day.
Well, I enjoyed the benefits of watching Rochelle work. She did a great job. She had to convince one of her students to take his concentration class online, and he was a little bit apprehensive about it because he's military and he wanted to make sure he was going to get his money. So she had to convince him. He had a choice of 3 courses and he didn't want to take any one of them. So she had to convince him the fact that, you know, he's close to finishing his, you know, degree and just get it over with. So I found it intriguing how she has to sit there and actually convince the student to, you know, focus and actually finish his, you know, degree. So I just enjoyed the stitching process because I deal with the students first usually, and we have to make sure that, you know, they get paired off with the, you know, great admissions advisor, and then we do all the nitty-gritty work, and then they go straight to Student Central, and it's a stitching process. So I enjoyed to know that Rochelle has a big part in having students continue and finish their degrees and move forward to making a successful life for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's the job shadowing program allows you or others, colleagues, to see what that person does. Like, you know, we've worked in the same department, I see you every day, but this, you know, you may not have a specific idea what the student support advisor does. So it gives, the job shadowing program gives colleagues the opportunity to see the day-to-day interaction that that person does from the time they start until they finish their, you know, their day.
As far as Student Central is concerned, it's an interesting department, but I don't think it's for me. But it's always great to learn different departments as to what they do, such as with Whitney. She is an executive assistant, and I'm an administrative assistant. She's pretty much, you know, a step up, you know, from me, but she deals with so much more because she deals with the president of the school. So I know she has a lot more responsibilities, and sometimes we have to understand each other's roles so that we know that we can't judge how much work gets done within the day.
I thought I would just shadow someone. It's good. I mean, there's a few departments that I'd be interested in shadowing. I think career services, because we, you know, as student support advisor, Student Central, career services plays a part when you're working with a student and you say, have you visited them? But to be honest, I don't had the opportunity to go into that department and sit down and talk to one of the advisors. So that would be one of the jobs that I would like to shadow. Maybe shadowing at another location, because we all do, you know, Student Central, we do student support advising, but I think I've only been to Regal Park like twice. So maybe going over to Rego Park and seeing what they go through on a day-to-day basis might be a good idea.
And we may just be able to learn something, different, because an SSA may work one way here, but in Queens, they may find something that works totally different for them, and you can pick up a few pointers from them.
Best practices?
Yeah.